You know what a nice as well as unexpected side effect to this series of diving into each career and figuring out what makes them tick is? That I can take a look at careers I was bad at and can more successfully figure out how to play them, regardless of whether or not it's the expected mechanics or a pinch or two of my own style. Sure, certain careers will be harder than others, looking at you, Huntsman, but exploring each career and becoming at the very least proficient with each career at Vermintide's highest degree of difficulty feels like an accomplishment in and of itself. And here we are at the halfway mark of the series, and frankly, I couldn't be more proud of myself. And I'm also excited to see what I can do with the remaining careers on this list. But enough about them. Today, we're here to focus on the last career I have yet to review for Bardin Goreksson, the Ranger Veteran. The Ranger Veteran is a fascinating playstyle that I never saw myself dedicating too much of my time to due to his interesting damage output. Honestly, the biggest thing holding me back was that I wasn't satisfied with his mesh of melee damage and range damage, but that has changed. But I'm getting off topic. Our good friend Mr. Goreksson can reload 15% faster, an ability that is basically ripped off of the bounty hunter, an increased ammo capacity of 50%, as well as a 10% chance to not consume items on use. But since I'm super unlucky, this stat might as well not even exist. He can go invisible for an extended duration and use it however he pleases. The increased range power allows him to penetrate the highest class of armor in the game, giving him potential for a couple Chaos Warrior frags while cloaked. That of course depending on your gun of choice. And also keep in mind his cooldown takes 2 minutes, meaning it should really only be used when you absolutely have to. And lastly, and perhaps most importantly, the ability to leave behind ammo pouches that restore 10% of your gun's ammo each time a special dies, regardless of its condition. I mean, unless they find ways to kill themselves, I don't know. So to frame it up on a wall for you, this career is focused on dishing out range damage and ammo support, and I guess a sprinkle of extra range power in exchange for no immediate melee output bonuses. Some of you can already see why I was worried coming into this video, but to the Ranger's credit, he does have some pretty helpful talents to improve his overall performance, even though I didn't realize it immediately. Let's start with health recovery, as always, and thankfully, Ranger Veteran has the best health recovery talent in the game based off of staggers to keep your health in check pretty comfortably. I'm also a huge fan of being able to hit multiple enemies in one swing, but frankly it's not even a contest. Roots running deep by a country mile. Talent set number 2 is a bit tougher, mainly because it all comes down to one simple yet difficult question. Do you want your ult faster, or do you want to swing faster? And since I love swinging faster, it was really hard to turn improvisation down. One of the things I'm going to get into in this video is which range gun you Thank you, Java. Is which range gun you should use when it comes to improv. The handgun has the best synergy, and in the best cases, you can fire your gun 10 to 12 times before your ult comes back, which would be 20 to 24 seconds of cooldown, which translates to, at best, 20% ult reduction. Tag on some ult reduction from the trinket, and you can get your ult back possibly 30% faster. But when it comes to me, I'd actually go with the 5% attack speed. With that, my maximum attack speed is at 39%, which, if you've watched my Handmaiden video, you'll know is right around the bullseye on the target for me. I really do understand the importance of your ult. I do, but I also understand my own limits. Talent set number 3 is actually unbelievably important. Go enhance power. I will get into why later, trust me. Talent set number 4, all 3 of these are really good. Sometimes 10% ammo just isn't quite enough, which is why turning that into 30% would be useful. Maybe you don't want to worry about what you use your ammo on at all. Maybe your entire team runs weapons that consume ammunition. That never happens anymore. Depending on the mission you're playing, most commonly Lord missions, getting better items for those fights is a valid strategy, which is what Scavenger can do for you. I, for one, run Concoction, so it doesn't even matter which potion I use. I'll get all of them. Enough said. Or is it? Because I run Drunken Brawler that gives you and your teammates extra attack speed and damage reduction. Think of it as an additional reward for taking care of those pesky specials. Talent set number 5 is pretty simple. You have extra movement speed or reload speed with brutally annoying restrictions. Basically shotgun or die. But then there's 30% damage reduction for 7 seconds against all sources so long as you hit in the head. It is not hard to do this. Like seriously, talent set number 5 isn't even a question. You want exuberance. Talent set number 6, on the other hand, simply put, isn't. You can duplicate one bomb when you use your ult, which is really good for extra damage and makes your ult even deadlier. You have an option that lets you move wherever you want, or a talent that gives you temporary health and attack speed if you stand within Bardin's circle, mathematically giving you up to 30 health. All three of these are good, but I go with Vapors. Now I can heal my allies, give them ammo, attack speed, and damage reduction. Pretty good deal if you ask me. With a melee weapon, I'd recommend either the Great Axe, Great Hammer, Cog Hammer, definitely the Cog Hammer, the Shielded Hammer, or I guess the Shielded Axe, whatever. Or the Dual Hammers. 60% block cost is a very good idea, and increasing your crit chance so you can more commonly have Swift is pretty important, especially since Ranger Veteran can only have a natural 15% crit chance bonus. And when it comes to range weapons, let's just say it's a bit more complicated. Remember when I said that enhanced power was really important? Here's why. In my testing, I used the Masterwork pistol and the handgun. The shotgun did too bad a job at combating specials, and the throwing axes are the throwing axes. If you equip 2 counts of power versus infantry and 1 count of chaos, along with the power you get from enhanced, the Masterwork pistol can one-shot all specials, storm vermin, and bestigors without aiming for the head. The handgun is unfortunately unable to accomplish this feat, but you can still take down all the special pinners if you equip the same properties. If you want to one-shot bestigors again, you want 2 counts of chaos along with 1 count of infantry, which of course would be sacrificing the one-shot gas rat. But even then, if you really wanted to, you could trade 5% attack speed so you can one-shot them. When it comes to these two weapons, each one has advantages and drawbacks. The Masterwork is better for bosses and prolonged use without a reload, but suffers from damage fall off. The handgun has considerably more, about this much, damage fall off, but isn't as good for monsters. Either way, I suck at aiming for the head, so yeah, personally I go with the Masterwork, especially since I get to keep the extra 5% attack speed. Damage fall off sucks, sure, but being able to cut down specials and elites during hordes is a very important quality, and since the range of those enemies is up close and personal, the Masterwork's downside doesn't often come into play. And as for the necklace, you want health and block cost, bark skin for the trait. Charm, I go concoction, so no matter what I can regenerate my ult, and for the trinket, I go stamina regen and crit chance, so I can use Swift more often. Trap for the trait. And that's the Ranger Veteran for you. Surprisingly tanky, pretty okay support character, and pretty balanced as well. It wasn't easy to figure out all the details, like exactly how much power you need to kill each type of special and elite, but after that testing was done, everything got substantially easier to work through. I can't say he's my favorite Bardin career, but I also can't say that I don't find success when playing him. He's not perfect, but frankly the one issue I have with him can't be solved no matter what he does. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. Later, peoples!